Ma ba'd. Alhamdulillah, brothers and sisters, we inshallah we are resuming our seerah discussions, seerah gathering, and the purpose again is to follow the footsteps of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, bring the deen and apply the deen in our lives. So we discussed about the second pledge. Second pledge happened in Makkah during the Hajj season. After that is migration to Medina. So, but before the Prophet ﷺ migrated to Medina, the city of Medina, the Quraysh, they were shocked to hear that Islam is spreading, and more people are entering the fold of Islam. And even the secret meeting happened between the people of Medina, the Aus and Khazraj, and the Prophet ﷺ. They knew about it after that, after they investigated. So they had to do something. The Quraysh, they had to plan something which will bring everything, the effort of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and also the spread of Islam to an end. They have to come up with something. So they decided to gather, to do some mashwara, we call it, to have a meeting in the house of Nadwa, Darun Nadwa. You can say this is like their parliament. The parliament house. All decisions take place in the parliament house. So this is the Darun Nadwa, the house of Nadwa. The the Quraysh, they gathered there because they knew that this is, even the companions of the Prophet, they're leaving the city of Mecca. And also they knew also that the Aus and Khazraj, they're not, ordinary people. They are people with powers as well. And they have experience in war. And they also people who love peace. And also they control the route of trade, which is, which will affect the Quraysh, the economy of the Quraysh, the people of Makkah. So they said this is serious now, and so we have to end this. So it's a threat to their trade, basically. It's a threat to their lifestyle and also their trade, because now they know that the people of Medina are following the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. They are welcoming the Prophet, and most of the people of Makkah or the companions of the Prophet, they are also migrating to Medina. So they fear that this Medina, this city of Medina, will become a city of Muslims, a stronghold of Islam, and that's a threat to them. So they have to come up with something, with a plan. So this meeting occurred in the month of Safar. It says over here, وَفِي يَوْمِ الْخَمِيسِ, on Thursday, يوم الخميس, 26th of Safar, the month of Safar, which is same with which is the 14th year of prophethood, alayhi salam, al-muwafiq bi 12 of September, 12 of September, year 622 common era. This is 2 months and a half after the pledge of Aqabah, the big pledge of Aqabah. So 2 months and a half. So they agreed to meet. So the people who came for the meeting are, leaders of the Quraysh tribes. The famous leader we know, the strong enemy of Islam that always gave the Prophet hard time? Abu Jahl, yes. He's a famous for being bad. We don't want to be like that. Inshallah, may Allah protect us to be famous. Everyone knows Abu Jahl, but there are other names that we never hear, or maybe rarely hear the other names. Like for example, Jubayr ibn Mut'im, and Tu'aym ibn Adi, Harith ibn Amir. But Abu Jahl, he's a representative of the tribe Bani Makhzum, Abu Jahl. And then the other three names I mentioned, Jubayr ibn Mut'im, Tu'aym ibn Adi, Al-Harith ibn Amir, they were representatives of Banu Nawfal ibn Abdi Manaf. These are the tribes of Quraysh. And then Shaybah wa Utbah, two sons of Rabi'ah. Shaybah, Utbah, two sons of Rabi'ah, and Abu Sufyan ibn Harb. They were representative of Bani Abdi Shams ibn Abdi Manaf. And then we have Nadar ibn al-Harith and Abu al-Bakhtari and other names. Umayyah ibn Khalaf is also a known name. Umayyah. So they gathered. So when they were about entering the house Darun Nadwa, there was an old man, and over here it says it's Iblis. Iblis, Shaitan. So Shaitan appearing in the form of a man, old man, and so he was standing at the door, at the entrance, and people were entering, the Quraysh, these leaders were entering, and then who's this guy, someone who is unknown, a stranger basically. But then the sheikh means old person, not a sheikh or alim. No, a sheikh is an elderly person. He said this elderly person is from Najd. Najd is a place in Hijaz, Najdi. So he's interested, he's curious to also take part and listen to what you want to propose or plan or debate about, because they have debate, like in Mashwara, one will give opinion and the other one will say no, this is not good opinion because this reason, and someone will counter that argument. So this is like a debate. So he said, so he may be useful, this elderly person, so they allowed him to come in. They allowed him to come and take part in the meeting. So they discussed different ideas of how to end this. Some say, for example, anyone know or remember any ideas? Of course, the final one was to kill the Prophet. Yes, but before that, any idea they proposed? Banish him, like put him in prison, behind bars they call, and then let him die in the prison. So basically, no feeding, nothing. Another idea was to okay, over here it says one is put him in jail. Another one kick him out from our city. Exile, put him in exile so he can go, but don't allow him to enter the city or be with us. Like, kick him out. So, but both the Iblis, the Sheikh Najdi, the elderly man from Najd, he said, no, this is not a good idea, because the thing is, he's still alive. He's still, if you exile him, he's still alive, and he can find maybe means to live. Because he's not in Makkah though, but he will gather even followers, come back and gather followers. That's not a good plan, is it? And also, if you put him in for example, in prison or behind bars, that's also not a good plan, because his current followers will take revenge or try to do something to free him from prison, and that's not good. So So they discussed. So this leader is also famous. What was it? Abu Jahl, I think. Abu Jahl Ibn Hisham. He gave the opinion to, to assassinate the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But then they thought, how do we assassinate him? What is the best method? Because if, let's say, Abu Jahl assassinated him or his tribe, then it's easy for the followers of the Prophet to take revenge. Easy, because only one tribe. So he thought, no, I don't want to take the burden or the responsibility, because my people will vanish and maybe myself, I will get killed. So he thought of a plan. So he said, like, every young person from every tribe should take part in assassination. Take part. So this is good. So everyone carries the blood, so Quraysh or the tribe of the Prophet or his family, if they want to, take revenge, it's going to be a big fight, big war, and maybe never ending, something never ending. So they will just accept, any blood money. That's it. They will settle for something less, instead of, taking revenge or going to war. So the Iblis, the elderly person, said, yeah, this is a good idea. The best idea and the best plan. So that's what happened in that Darun Nadwa. Now the Prophet ﷺ, of course, Jibreel alayhi salam, the angel Jibreel, he informed the Prophet of their plan, that they're planning to assassinate you, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows, it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even the Prophet, no one knew about this meeting, but Jibreel told the Prophet and informed him. So the Prophet ﷺ, during a midday, he came to the house of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. So Aisha radiallahu anha narrates, she said that while we were sitting in the house of my father, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, around midday, during Dhuhr time, very hot, a person said to Abu Bakr, oh Abu Bakr, this is a Prophet coming towards us, coming to our house. And the Prophet ﷺ was, covering his head, because, during hot days, like we wear a, summer hat, or maybe to cover, because it gives relief for the head. Is very dangerous if you're exposed to the sun. So Abu Bakr, said that, oh, it is not usual that the Prophet come, to my house at this time. It's not usual. It's not something normal. So I believe that this is, something important. That's why he came. So the Prophet ﷺ came and asked permission, seek permission to enter. So the Prophet wanted only to speak with Abu Bakr. So he told others to leave. So and then the Prophet ﷺ said, to Abu Bakr that I have been given permission by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to leave the city of Makkah and to migrate to Medina, basically. And then Abu Bakr said, do you want my company? As-suhbah bi abi anta ya Rasulullah. I said, my father, my mother, is sacrificed for you. He said, do you want my company? Do you want me to accompany you? And then the Prophet said, yes. Na'am. He said, yes. And then after that, the Prophet ﷺ, they discussed the plan, the Prophet and Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. And then after that, the Prophet returned back to his home, waiting for nightfall, waiting for the night to come. Because, during the day, you're exposed. Everyone can see you where you're going. So night time is the best time to leave the house. So, but during that night also, they planned to assassinate the Prophet. So they gathered all the, every man from every tribe, and we also have their names as well. So they will hit, with their sword. Basically, each one of them will hit the Prophet, or will commit the heinous crime. Heinous. So their names are Abu Jahl again, Al-Hakam ibn al-As, Uqba ibn Abi Mu'ayt. Basically, majority of those who took part in the meeting in Darun Nadwa. And Abu Lahab, Nabih ibn al-Hajjaj, and Mumbih ibn al-Hajjaj. All this, they're basically the same people who were in the meeting in Darun Nadwa. So Ibn Ishaq, one of the expert in Sirah, Ibn Ishaq, he said when the night came, they gathered around the house of the Prophet, maybe hidden somewhere, or they gathered, and then they were watching, waiting, and observing what's happening in the house of the Prophet, and maybe spying, basically, gathering intelligence. So they spy. And they were they were adamant, they were, they strongly believed that their plan will succeed to end the life of the Prophet. So they had everything planned, yes? And then, so even Abu Jahl, he stood up, with arrogant. He stood up, and then he said to his people, to his friends, he said that Muhammad thinks that if you follow him, you become the kings of the Arab and the non-Arab. He thinks that if you follow him, you become elevated. You become kings of the Arabs and non-Arabs. You become, basically people with dignified people. But he's saying in a mocking way. Yeah, he's mocking. And then he believes that after you die, you will be resurrected, and he may be laughing as well, and then you will enter paradise. What is this? He says this. Now I say this rubbish. These all dreams. He said. But if you don't follow him, you'll be destroyed. Basically, you'll be killed, and then you will enter the fire of hell. So this is basically typically the things we do hear from people who don't believe. Basically, it's because our communication with Allah is through the messengers. See, and they bring miracles, and they bring miracles with that. They have no desire for worldly matters. That's another thing, because if someone can show something, like magicians, that doesn't count. That's magic. Yeah, another person who knows magic, he can tell that what you're performing is magic. It's not something, like what happened to the magicians. They were facing Musa alayhi salam. They immediately they immediately accepted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and have faith in Allah, because they saw what Musa is doing is not magic, it's something different, it's real. So the Prophet, they came with miracles, and one thing that distinguishes the true prophets, the messengers of Allah, from others is that they don't have any desire towards the worldly matters, or desire to become a leader, or to gather the wealth, to live a luxurious life, a comfortable life. Look at the life of the Prophet ﷺ. Anything comes to his house, any donations, he immediately gives it away to the poor and needy. Nothing left in his house, no furniture, nothing. Even food, like for 2 months, no food cooking, no fire burning to cook food. Can we imagine any leader living like that? No, we don't even see any example. So this is, but people lose it. They say, oh, this is all, but they have nothing to give, What do you have to give? You say this, all this Jannah, the things that are mentioned in the Quran is all fake and thing. What do you have? Do you have something real? You have nothing. Huh? You have nothing even we can say better than what's in the Quran. So it's good to just remain quiet. So they they plan to execute this mission, this evil mission, after midnight. So all midnight. So they tried to stay awake, just like we are trying to stay awake now. Are we trying to stay awake, or are we trying to sleep? Stay awake to execute the plan. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best planner. We can plan whatever we want, but if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't allow it to happen, it will not happen. So, even in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the Prophet, وَإِذْ يَمْكُرُ بِكَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لِيُثْبِتُوكَ أَوْ يَقْتُلُوكَ. When the disbelievers, when the kuffar try to plan against you, to kill you, to exile you. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they can plan whatever they want. وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also plans. Yes. وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. And Allah is the best planners. Makir. Migrate, yeah. Revelation. Yeah. Oh, you mean part of the Quran? Oh, you mentioned Quran. Do you think? Do you mean that is this permission for hijrah is mentioned in the Quran? Is that what you mean? Direct message is also revelation, because even hadith is revelation. Assalamu alaikum. Like, because the Prophet ﷺ doesn't speak from his own accord, or in huwa illa wahi. Yeah. So, yeah. Yes, revelation you got, yeah. With Allah. Huh? So you can call that revelation. You can call that revelation. Like you can say like email or SMS or WhatsApp. Is that? Yeah. So it's revelation, if you want to call, or message from Allah. It's the same thing. Yeah. That's also revelation. Yeah. Communication. We need communication.
Every communication is revelation, or it's not?
It's revelation. Yes. Yeah, every communication, like whether it's like email, WhatsApp, or message, or whatever, Facebook, is communication. You communicate, yes. So Quran is different. Yeah, Quran. Yeah. Oh no, Quran. There is mention of hijrah in the Quran, but I don't know if there is a mention. There is a mention of to start striking back for the oppressed one. Before in the time period of Makkah, the Muslim just remained calm and patient. Yeah, but then Allah revealed, "Udhina lilladhina yuqataluna bi'annahum zulimu." So we have given permission to those who are being killed, meaning the Muslim, to retaliate and to defend themselves. And that's mentioned in the Quran. Udhina. Udhina means given permission. But for hijrah, I'm not sure. But there is mention of hijrah in Quran and also in hadith. But definitely, when the Prophet said, Allah has given me permission, that's revelation. Yes. Yeah. So, so this is, they wait until midnight. Then the Prophet ﷺ, left his house But how did, before he leave, he told Ali radiallahu anhu to sleep in his bed, in his on his mattress, and then covered Ali with a blanket. So I think the Quraysh, they were looking from the window or maybe through a hole somewhere, or they see that someone's still sleeping there, and they assume it was still the Prophet sleeping. But Prophet, he left the house long ago, and maybe in a moment where they all fell asleep, these men outside his house, they fell asleep because you tried to stay awake, but maybe, and during that time the Prophet left. And even in the Sirah books, that the Prophet took sand and threw it on their faces, while reciting the surah, the ayah in Surah Yasin, وَجَعَلْنَا مِن بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ, that we have put a veil in front of them and behind them, so they are covered and they cannot see. That's the meaning of the ayah, meaning more or less. Yes. Yeah, they didn't, I think, kill him because they don't want to, make the situation worse, because they want to target just one person. If two, that's worse. Yes, there's no need for Ali to target Ali or any other people, because they also they were planning carefully as well. So they didn't, but they tortured him. They bashed him. They forced him. They hit him brutally to say, where did the Prophet go? Yeah, but he didn't give any detail. He remained strong. So they did, but they didn't kill him. Yes. So the Prophet left the house at night, and he also threw sand on their faces. So then he went to Abu Bakr's house first, so they can go together, both of them. So Rasulullah SAW, he went south. You see, from Makkah, Medina is towards the north there. So he went south. He started his journey towards south. So that's how he ended in the cave. What's the cave name? Anyone know? Huh? Thawr. No, not Hira, Thawr. Yeah. So Thawr is to the south of Makkah, which is towards Yemen. Yeah. And why the Prophet did that? So he can cover, confuse, because the first search will start to the north, because that's they know that the Quraysh knew that the Prophet is heading to Medina. That's north side. So that's why they did. But the Prophet went there, and then he took a different route, as we will know, inshallah, that Abu Bakr hired someone, not a believer yet, not a follower of the Prophet, but he was a trustworthy person, a guider, to take to a different route. Some different, not the normal route people take, because there will be Quraysh there, or people who waiting to assassinate or to capture the fugitives, they say this. Yes. So so then so they asked Ali when they barged in the house, or they entered the house, they asked Ali, where's the Prophet? And then Ali said, I don't know. La ilma li bihi, I don't know where he is. So now the Prophet ﷺ, it says here that the Prophet ﷺ left his house the night of 27 of Safar, the month of Safar, which is again the 14th year of prophethood, which is 12 to 13 September, year 622. So he took that route, the south. He went to the south, and then when they arrived at the cave, the Mount Thawr. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, of course, for his love for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Don't enter the cave. I enter first and make sure the cave is safe." Of course, cave can, there might be snakes in it or some scorpion or any harmful insect there. So he cleaned a bit with his cloth, clean around, and then he covered some holes. The holes covered some holes, but there were 2 holes remaining. He just covered it with his foot. So he told the Prophet after checking the cave, he told the Prophet, "Come inside." But then he covered with both of his feet 2 holes or holes, and then the Prophet, of course, he slept on Abu Bakr's lap. So Abu Bakr stood awake, but then an insect bit him. It was maybe scorpion or maybe some snake or snake, huh? Yeah, but something very painful, of course. And then Abu Bakr cried, but he didn't move. Abu Bakr remained, he remained and did not move at all because he did not want to wake the Prophet ﷺ. But then from pain, he was crying. His tears flowed down from his face and to the face of the Prophet ﷺ. And then Prophet, wake up, what happened? The Prophet said. And then Abu Bakr said, I was bitten by, So the Prophet ﷺ spat on the bite, the place of the bite. And then Abu Bakr did not feel any pain after that. Yes, that's the barakah of, this. Yes. So he felt no pain after that. So they both what's this? Okay, they both remained in the cave for 3 nights. And then so it's the Friday he left there, and then so that Friday night, Saturday night, and also Sunday night. So the one of the son of Abu Bakr, Abdullah ibn Abi Bakr, he also spent the night with both of them. So Aisha, his sister, said that he was a young man, young fellow, shabun. He's very intelligent, smart, very fast. So what he used to do was he returns back to Makkah, the city of Makkah, before Fajr, before people in Makkah, they wake up. So that no one will find out that he went somewhere. So during the day he will act like normal, okay. But at night, maybe after midnight or during the middle of the night, he will go and to the cave and maybe bring some food, milk, some supplies, and then return back before in Sahar time, like before Fajr time, before the. So he says over here, حتى يأتيهما بخبر ذلك حين يختلط الظلام. So during the day he will be with the Quraysh, with the people of the Makkah, and then he will bring news during the night to both to Abu Bakr and the Prophet ﷺ. And also there is Amir ibn Fuhayra, his shepherd. A shepherd, he brings milk, and also he covers the traces of Abdullah ibn Abi Bakr. When he comes, he covers the trace. He goes on top of it. So because they track, they send trackers around everywhere to track, to hunt, basically hunting and tracking. So they did this for 3 nights. Abdullah ibn Bakr and Amir ibn Fuhaira, they did this, helping, Abu Bakr and the Prophet ﷺ. 8:15 now. Keep going, or we think? Yeah. So this is the story. So what they couldn't find, of course, even they put a what they call it, a bounty, a prize, for those who can capture these 2 fugitives, these 2 men. They give, they mention here, 100 camels, 100 camels, 100 camels. So it's a big prize. So even those, everyone is willing to get that prize, and also they went to the daughter of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, Asma bint Abi Bakr, asking her, where did your father go? When did he leave? So she said, I don't know. And then and they slapped Abu Jahl. Abu Jahl slapped her face, even her thing, her earring was like, yes, that's of course that will be bleeding as well. So that's how violent he was. A slap on the face, yes. And also they also asked Ali ibn Abi Talib too, and he also said the same. They bashed him, but he said, I don't know. So they sent, they used all means to capture the, Abu Bakr and the Prophet. They used all means. They spread the news. We have a prize for those who can bring back these 2 fugitives. And even those who were searching for Prophet Muhammad, they came to the cave, but somehow they didn't check. Even Abu Bakr said if they looked, just down a bit, where their feet are standing, they surely can see, the Prophet Abu Bakr, but they didn't. They were just left of this. See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can just like what happened, Prophet Musa, when he was left by his mother through the Nile River, and the wife of Fir'aun saw the baby basket and said, oh, this is a baby. And Fir'aun, he refused. Maybe this is, we should, kill this baby, slaughter. This is from Banu Israel. But then somehow his heart just became soft at that time. See, again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, when he plans something, we don't even know how he plans it. So here the Prophet ﷺ said to Abu Bakr, La tahzan. This is mentioned in the Quran. La tahzan. Don't worry. Don't worry. Inna Allaha ma'ana. Indeed, Allah is with us. What do you think? 2-person and Allah is the 3rd. You think any harm could come to us, or could, So Abu Bakr, of course, he, yes. So they left the cave. They didn't even look inside. Normally, so this is the story of the Hijrah, and then the story incident when he was, traveling, the Prophet ﷺ, when he was traveling, someone, saw him and chased after him, but then, inshallah, that's for next time, inshallah. And yes. Thawr, yes, as I said, pigeon egg, and also the web, spider web. Yeah, no one entered this. This is, yes. But here doesn't mention, but yeah, that's one thing too. So I think this is a sacrifice, the Prophet and the Sahaba made. It's always like this. We have to. Any questions, inshallah? No? No questions? Good. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك